Well, today we've come out for a little bit of a drive, parked just outside a very convenient place to look at a new device. It's the Apple iPhone 5S, and we're going to check out the camera function of this. I think everybody's looking at a new iPhone 5S, obviously. There's nothing too much different. I mean, it looks pretty much the same, although it's got a new leather case, and the button is different. But we don't care about how it works as a phone. We care about new camera functions, and that's what we're going to check out today.
The new iPhone 5S, obviously, featuring the new A7 chip. This new fruity phone is a belter. It has one pretty slick new feature.
Now, the new iPhone 5S has got a fingerprint ID unlock. Now, somebody on the internet has tested it and confirmed that it also works on your penis. Yeah. Oh, I've not tested it. But we think that's a load of cock, so what we really care about is the camera function, and that's what we're going to test today. Oh yes.
I'm sure you'd like to know what the rest of the phone is like. Bloody brilliant, there you go. So at least now we can focus on the stuff that makes photography geeksters like us happy. We're going to sum up the 5S's new or improved photography features in 5 S's.
Now, although the 5S has the same megapixel count as the 5, it has a bigger sensor on the 5S, which means bigger pixels, and of course the benefits of all of that. You will get better dynamic range on this new phone, hopefully. That's what we're going to try out.
The dynamic range does appear to be slightly better with a 5S. Looking at the white top on the fishing dude, the highlight areas aren't completely blown. Lovely.
It's got the panorama mode just like the old iPhone 5, but it's got higher FPS, so it takes more shots. Should be a smoother stitch.
The exposures changed throughout the scene to try and make the stitching look super clean. Shame the same can't be said about Hong Kong waters.
Even though you can take... Whoa, shit! Which way do we go for? Do we go a bit of splash or a bit of running over action? Which one? There we are. The new iPhone 5S has got the square mode, taking square shots, or live filters. Filters that are shown live, hence the name. But you can get it on your iPhone 5 and your 4S.
You're not exactly being spoiled rotten with 9 filters, and you know, they're pretty standard filters, but at least they're there to use in the standard camera function.
Then if you regret being a little bit of a hipster, then you can always remove it afterwards, which is handy.
Mr. Shaky Hands Man, caffeine addicts and not so steady hands can shakily rejoice at 5S's Auto IS for images. It's not groundbreaking new technology, but one can't complain about how it works in practice. Also, the 5S is better in low light. Same shutter speed here, but the 5S has a slightly larger maximum aperture, f2.2 versus f2.4. It means that the 5S uses a lower ISO, thus lower noise. Generally, it looks like the 5S preserves a lot more details when the light gets low also. Well, if you want to use a flash, the True Tone flash on the 5S, look on the back and you see 2 different colour LEDs, one white, one yellowish. The iPhone will pick the best one to use depending on the lighting situation to balance the flash with the ambient lighting better. You can see a difference here. It makes the 5's photo look a bit like a Lomo flash. Interestingly, you get 720p 120 FPS capability for some high-speed fun. But talking about high-speed fun,
burst mode is phenomenal on this. I'm waiting for the splash, and that burst is going to go off. Watch this. Splash, you bastard.
the burst mode gives you 10 FPS, which is nice.
Wow. The live view still carries on. You can see the number just rev up when you're doing the burst. And that's pretty amazing because with some proper photo cameras, you get viewfinder blackout when you do bursting all over the place. But with this, you can still move around and there's barely any lag at all.
Having no screen blackout and minimal lag makes this pretty good for panning action shots, but it's kind of wasted on this scene. And it does the job, and it does it pretty much silently apart from the electronic burst sound, so you notch up quite a lot of images and quick. There is some aptly tidiness to keep all these images handily OCD organised though.
So what happens when you've taken your whole burst of photos? Check them out in the photos here. Immediately it looks like you haven't taken any photos, but they've all been collected in one folder. 61 photos, you crazy man lock. And what do you do with 61 photos? It's boring sifting through all of those photos. You've got to choose favourites here. So you can sift through all of those 61 photos and tick the ones that you think are the favourites. But if you check down here also, the dots, these are the shots which the phone has picked as a favourite. It thinks, hey, that's not a bad shot. It's left a dot underneath the photo. Yeah, not bad. So there we have it, the iPhone 5S camera function in 5Ss. It just goes to show that phones are really used and useful for the camera function. It's just as good as any kind of GoPro thing.
Alright, none of this is new technology per se, but the slow-mo and burst modes are neat little features to have. It's not going to replace dedicated slow-mo cameras, GoPros or DSLRs, but it's a mobile phone, and these are seriously cool features to have in your pocket at all times. One might argue that it's not necessarily the first to have these camera features in a mobile phone either, but the camera features on the 5S are a selection of the coolest features, executed slickly in a typically Apple fashion.